All right, welcome back to Man Now Sports, man. Y'all probably already seen the first portion of this interview with Ty Lue, where he did on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp. This part of it is gonna be him talking about his time with the Wizards and what he observed with Michael Jordan at age 40. Man, I think a lot of the stuff he said was kind of eye opening. You know, maybe not for me because I kind of already had that that understanding about his time with the Wizards, but for some people, especially younger people, it might be eye opening for them. But the first portion of this interview, if you didn't catch my previous video from this morning, him breaking down the Shaq and Kobe part of it, that piece of it, it was phenomenal, right? And this one is just as good. Of course, I thought it was noteworthy to bring to the show for y'all to tune into and comment on. So please do that. Before we get started, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Share this podcast as well, and definitely leave comments. All right, so let's get into what Ty Lue said about his time with Michael Jordan
at Washington with 40-year-old Jordan. Obviously, he's not the same. He's not the first three-peat. He's not the end three-peat. He's taking time off and he comes back. But could you see why he was Michael Jordan?
Oh, no doubt. I mean, you see a guy that's 40 years old and he averaged 21 points a game on one leg. See, people don't take into consideration, like, he played on one leg, one knee,
right,
for 2 years.
Right.
And he averaged 20 points a game, and so I could just see coming in to the gym, like Kobe, like I said, was a super worker. And you see a guy like Jordan, you come to practice, 2 hours early, think you coming in about to work out. Jordan's already done. Lathered up, done lifted, sweat on the court, did all his footwork stuff, all his basketball stuff. You're like, damn, like I came 2 hours early. He's already done at 40. So what was he like at 23, 24, 25? And so you knew that's why he was who he was. And so when I first walked in, I was in awe, like to be able to play with somebody you looked up to and idolized your whole life, and to be,
he don't even seem real, does he?
No.
People think I'm lying when I say that. The first time I saw him,
yeah,
he levitating, and I'm looking at this man. He probably think he like, man, Sterling Sharp, little brother, look crazy. Because I'm looking at him like he not, because he not real. Yeah. Ty Lue, he not real.
And when people see him, like, he never had a lot of security.
No,
like, but when people see him, they stop, like, because they're like in awe, like, oh, that's my. And then before you can really say something, he's already gone.
No.
Like, it wasn't a lot of crowd control,
right,
like, because like you see him and you just freeze,
right,
like all the other celebrities and stars, and like people gonna run to him and go
right,
crazy,
right.
Nobody ever really ran to Jordan because
you can't believe it's him.
You can't believe it. Like, it's just like he's walking, like, oh, you tap somebody, you look, you froze. And then you look up, he's gone.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it was. It never was like and they rush and go
right,
crazy, because you just couldn't believe it.
Wow.
And that's just.
And he played at 40.
So the first part of that, he's talking about his work ethic. He first got to the Wizards. Michael Jordan's 40, right? I actually think he came back at 38 and turned 39 during that first season. And then he had the meniscus injury. And then he had to get, I think he ended up getting surgery in the offseason. Or he got surgery during the middle of the season, and it cut his season short. Then he came back at 39 and turned 40 during the season. I think that's how it was. And he played all 82 games, which we go get into after that. But at 40, he played all 82 games, and he was getting his knee drained before every game. Right, his knee was in really bad shape. But he talked about how this man work ethic, getting in the gym before everybody else, getting in the gym before the early birds. Not just getting in the gym before them. I mean, because it's one thing to walk in and you be like, oh, Jordan already working out, and you the early bird. But dang, I'm an early bird. I usually get in here at 5:30. What time did he get in here if he's already working out? But that's not what Ty Lue said. Ty Lue said that when you come in as an early bird, Michael Jordan workout was done, and he was already drenched in sweat leaving at 40 with 6 rings and 2 three-peats, and already is the GOAT. This man is doing it at 40. Just imagine that. And imagine what he was doing if he was in his prime, what type of working out he was doing. Right. So that's unique. Then Shannon Sharp, he's told this story before, but he said, man, this dude got an aura around him. He doesn't seem real. Like when you watch him, when you see him, it's almost like time stops, and everyone else around him stops and just look until he's gone. Man, I don't know what makes that aura. I don't know if the marketing of the NBA and Nike and McDonald's and Gatorade and Ballpark Franks and the mythology that we tell about Michael Jordan, I don't know if that adds to the aura or if that is the aura. I just don't understand why so many people say that. I hear it a lot, right? And this coming from a guy who has dedicated his sports career, not his athletic career, but his sportscaster career has been dedicated to saying that LeBron James is the GOAT. And then you talking about MJ like this, which is cool. I'm not saying that you should just avoid saying that stuff if that's how you really feel, but I just think it's kind of odd that you think that about MJ, but you don't think that about LeBron. You know, I just kind of want to understand that psychology piece of it. Like, you know, I don't know. I really kind of want to understand it. So, and I don't. Right, but I thought it was worth mentioning.
He played all 82.
82 games, second year, yeah.
It seemed to me back then, I mean, he came in that era, well, it was important to play 82 games.
A badge of honor.
I don't think it's important now.
No,
it's not important now.
It's a badge of honor, especially back then. But if you look at a lot of the medical, the science, it makes sense. You know, it's like, to play 82 games, but see, back then we played 82 games, and then you had a 2-hour practice the next day.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, yes. Now guys play,
and a lot of guys, they were taking commercial flights before this thing got high tech, and they took charter.
Yeah,
them guys were flying commercial.
Yeah, going to the airport.
Yeah, getting in line with them.
Yeah, sleeping in the airport, leaving at 6 o'clock in the morning to catch flights to go to another city. So it was a badge of honor to play 82 games back then. Like, that's what you wanted to do,
right?
You know, and so. But with the medical and the science, how it is today, like, it makes sense why a lot of us can't walk now,
right?
Because you know, like how hard we went, all the practices, all the games,
right?
So it is a little science to it, but like back then, you wanted to play every game. Right. That was your mindset.
So the mindset of a 40-year-old to say I'm playing 82 games on a team that's, you know, they're not projected to make the playoffs. I don't think Vegas had them making the playoffs or nothing like that. I don't think you could look at their roster, you know, of Ty Lue, Michael Jordan, Rip Hamilton, Kwame Brown, Eton Thomas, a young Juan Dixon. Was Juan Dixon on that roster? I don't know. But if he was, he wasn't getting in the game. He was very young. It took Juan Dixon. It took him about 3 years to be able to, you know, start getting minutes and, you know, start being NBA ready. And it actually took Rip Hamilton some years as well. By the time Rip got to Detroit, he was ready. He wasn't quite ready with the Wizards. I mean, Kwame definitely wasn't ready. Juan Dixon wasn't ready. Eton Thomas wasn't good enough, and I apologize for that because I follow Eton on social medias, and I love Eton because when I first ran across Eton's page, I had to look him up to make sure it was the same guy because I remember watching Eton play at Syracuse with Jason Hart, not Josh Hart, Jason Hart. And I thought Jason Hart and Josh Hart might have been related. But Josh Hart was a really good college player at Syracuse. And Eton Thomas was a really good college player. Like, you know, Eton kind of put you in the mind of, he kind of reminded me of how, I don't know if y'all remember when Brian Grant with Portland kind of went off in the playoffs against Utah, just absolutely went off, right? And established himself as a good player. But it was short-lived. He was kind of good for like 2 years, and then, you know, Rasheed just, you know, what, you know, it is what it is. But my point is this: Eton was good, but when he got to the league, we never seen that part of Eton anymore. He was more of on a Tyler Hansborough, you know, level, right? But he wasn't good enough. Kwame Brown wasn't ready. Juan Dixon wasn't ready. Rip wasn't ready. Tyronn Lue was ready, but I don't know if he was good enough. But he was good. A legit number 2 Mike didn't have. And at this age at 40, he Mike probably should have been the number 2. Like if he really wanted to contend, he needed a number 1. He needed to be a number 2. He needed to be Pippen at 40. Just like LeBron needed to be Pippen at 40. Right? LeBron definitely needs to be Pippen at 40 at best. Right? Maybe Durant needs to be Pippen. Maybe Curry needs to be Pippen. Like they're long in the tooth. They're old. But with that being said, to be a guy on a team that's going nowhere fast and to say, I'm going to drain my knee before every game, and I'm going to do that 82 times and play 82 games and play regular minutes. That's GOAT stuff right there.
I've heard a lot of people say in today's game, in the game, the way it's being played and the way it's being officiated today, Jordan at his apex, how many points would he average?
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, man. 45?
Sheesh.
You bull jobbing, Ty Lue?
What you mean? You can't touch nobody. It's a foul. So, I mean, you got the best player in the world. You know what I'm saying? You got the best player in the world.
45, Ty Lue?
What, he averaged 36 one year?
He averaged 37.
37.
Yeah.
So, yeah, add 8 to that. Now, every time you get touched, it's 2 free throws.
Right.
You know, so, I mean, like the zone stuff could be a difference. And,
right.
You know, like back then with the legal defense. But, yeah, I mean, I don't see like it wouldn't be a year he wouldn't average 45.
Wow.
You couldn't touch nobody. I mean, you can't touch nobody
right,
now.
Right,
so, like, the physicality is, you know, pretty much gone.
Yeah.
Anything you go into the free throw line and just how smart he was. And,
right.
You know, especially nowadays, like take advantage of these guys, you know, just far as just IQ alone.
Right. What's some of the best advice Jordan gave you?
So we'll hold that thought on the best advice Jordan ever gave him. Let's approach this 45 points per game in this era. And his reasoning being, well, at Jordan's peak, as far as scoring points, he averaged 37 for a season. If you take what he was able to do in that era, averaging 37, if you would drop him as the same type of player or the same player into this era with the thought process that physicality has been taken out of the game, although it's coming back, right? I think Joe Dumars and Adam Silver is doing a decent job to bring physicality back. So it's coming back. It's a daggone shame it was gone for most of LeBron's career and most of Steph Curry's career. But now when their career is coming to the end, it's coming back. I think that's I'm not saying that's a conspiracy or that's the reason why it's coming back. I'm just saying that they benefited from that their entire career almost, right? I think that's cool for them to be able to escape it. But physicality is coming back, but nonetheless, most of this era was without physicality. And then, you know, no hand checking. And then the physicality is gone as well. So it's two thought processes with that. One is that the physicality, the hard fouls, the Detroit Pistons style of play, the 90s style of play, the 80s style of play. Did I say hand checking? The hand checking and not calling ticky-tack fouls. All of that actually made MJ as good as he was. So on one end of the spectrum of this conversation, you would have to say that the player that MJ was, he probably wouldn't have been if it wasn't for that physicality. That makes sense. Like, you know, the physicality helped shape him, right? Hard times make hard men, or hard times make good men, or hard times make the best men, right? So those hard times that MJ went through actually turned him into, I mean, that's part of him. So you really can't even do this scenario or do this hypothetical, because hypothetically, MJ, if he came up in this era of how basketball is played, then that means this era would shape him. So that's one thought process. But then there's the other thought process. If we just hypothetically just take MJ as he was and drop him in this era, what would he average? And I think that's what the question was. And I think Ty Lue is accurate, somewhere in the 40s. And I think, everyone who's asked this question is accurate. It's like one of those things that every answer is the right answer, as long as it's more than 37, because it's easier in this era. The defense is easier. The league is easier. The lane is wide open. Concepts are different. There's so much stuff that are working in his favor for that caliber of player, and that type of players that's athletic and that fast and that strong and that skilled. It'll be over. It might be over for Kobe if he played in this era. So I heard one person say MJ would average whatever he want to average. And I think Zoe Morning said that. So I ain't even put no number on it. It's whatever number MJ want. If MJ want to average 49, he probably could in this era. Would that be the best formula for them winning games and winning championships? Probably not. But whatever he want to average, he probably could average. But realistically, even when he averaged 37, that wasn't winning basketball. So, the question is not even, I think the better question is how many rings will he get in this era? Right. So I think that's a better question. I think that's what the podcasters, when they get these players and former players on their podcast, I think that question, because I've heard them ask this, how many would MJ average, question a lot. And I think it's time for us to shift and say, hey man, how many rings would he get in this era? I think that's more, because what you averaging is not even, you get what I'm saying? That that's not the major impact. That's not what's most impactful. What's most impactful is your win-loss column.
So when I first came to Washington, so I was in the triangle for 2 years on the field. So when I came to Washington, I was like, man, I guess I got turned loose. Now I can just play my game, and so when I got there, I was just playing with pace, pushing it, just not understanding really how to play the game,
right?
But just playing the game.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And so he just taught me different reads, how to run the pick and roll. If a guy's playing you like this, do this. It should be your counter. And he gave me a lot of confidence.
Right.
I think shooting the basketball, because I could shoot, but when he kick it out to you, like Jordan passed you the ball, you're like, oh, what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, man, I don't care if you miss 5 in a row. If you open, you got to shoot it.
Right.
And gave me that confidence, which the second year when I was there, I was like second in the league in 3-point shooting. Wow. But it all came from that first year.
Right.
And I don't think I had the confidence that I needed, like I said, to play with Jordan.
Right.
And he gave me that confidence. So going to that second year, I was like, man, I was pissed off because I didn't play the way I wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was going to be the starter. Chris Whitney came in, did a hell of a job. He was a starter. He played well. And then Larry Hughes came in. And then I think that second year, I came in with a chip on my shoulder. We got to training camp, like I'm coming in to be the starter.
Right.
And that happened for me. But it all came from that first year of Jordan giving me confidence to be the player I wanted to be.
Was he hard on players?
Yes.
Too hard?
No. If you do your job, you ain't got to be hard on players. Just do your job.
Right.
So if you come in every day and do your job,
right,
I can't be hard on you.
Right.
But if you slacking, if you bullshitting, he wasn't taking that. He wasn't going to tolerate that. And so.
So he was almost like he was a player coach.
Yeah, on the floor.
Right.
Like if you slack and you're not doing what you're supposed to do,
right,
he's going to call you out. He's going to challenge you. If you can't handle the challenge, then you just can't play.
Right. I'm just anxious to hear, to see how he sees the game and what he's going to say about the game. Does he like the way the game is being played? Does he like all these 3-point shots? Does he like all these guys? There are some guys ain't got no business taking a 3-point
right.
shot, but the analytics say they need to get up 30. This team needs to get up 30 a game, right. So anybody can shoot them.
Yeah,
I'm just anxious to hear what he has to say about that, Lou.
Yeah, no, I think that would be interesting, but I think to me, I think it's going to be more there to help. I think, help the young guys,
right.
Just help the game grow. he wasn't a big 3-point shooter. So
No,
I think they said the mid-range game is a lost art.
it is.
And if teams are going to play in deep drops and let you come up and take that shot, then why would you master that shot?
Right.
Like, why would you master the shot the teams are giving up? And if you see all the game winners or all the clutch shots or big shots in NBA history throughout the playoffs, they're all mid-range.
Mhm.
Like, they're never like, 20, 30 foot through. Like Steph can make some,
Yeah.
but other than that, it's always a mid-range shot that wins that game.
Right.
And so why not master and be great at something that teams are giving up?
Right.
So I think he'd be here just to help and enhance the game, like you said, as best he can.
All right, so that was that. I mean, that's the last soundbite that I wanted to play on this Michael Jordan portion. And like I said, I'll be live later this evening just to kind of finish up the rest of the interview, because I like what he said about Steph Curry and the Warriors, and as it pertains to Kevin Durant. I like his perspective on LeBron James and the Cavs and Kyrie Irving and all that stuff and those championships. He said some really good things, but that soundbite, him talking about the type of guidance and advice he got from MJ when he played for him, and how it helped him and how it helped with his confidence, and just simple things. And we've heard people say that they go to Kobe a lot. We've heard Kyrie Irving, after they won the championships, he called Kobe. He was the first person he FaceTimed and was like, "What your advice worked," and all that stuff. And of course, the Mamba Academy, people was going out there getting advice, all the way down to the WNBA females, WNBA players coming out there. Tarazi, Candace Parker, they coming out there getting trained. Just a lot of people getting advice and seeking his knowledge. And MJ was a wealth of knowledge like that. He was a well, right, full of water, right? So Kobe went to him, and you just see a lot of winning coming from that tree of Michael Jordan, because if Michael Jordan is the tree and Kobe is a branch, and then the guys that Kobe have advised is a branch as well, Kawhi, Kyrie, things of that nature. You see winning is following them. Greatness is following them. High skill set is following them. A love of the game or respect for the game. And I like that, that tree of Michael Jordan. If you follow that tree, it's going to be some greatness around there, right? So I like that tree. On the contrast, if you follow the tree of LeBron, and it's just triple doubles and blaming teammates and firing coaches. I mean, it's just that LeBron tree is toxic. It's the tree of knowledge of good and evil. That's what it is. You know what I mean? So that LeBron tree is just yeah. What else did he say? He said the mid-range, because he asked him, Shannon was like, "Man, I'm just interested to hear and see how Michael Jordan is going to be," because he got hired as a special contributor by NBC, and we don't know what that entails. A lot of people is speculating that he might be calling games, but I doubt that. I don't know if he's going to be on a panel like a TNT show with Kenny, Chuck, Shaq, and Ernie. I don't know if it's gonna be like that. Like I'm interested to see how he's gonna contribute. And when I talked about this, when the news broke, I said that, in my opinion, I think that it'll be on his time. He won't be in studio. He'll probably have his own studio in his house, and he probably will be breaking down film before or after the game, maybe at halftime, I don't know. And he probably provide that to the producers at NBC, but I don't foresee Michael Jordan, getting up, dusting his suits off, and coming into the studio to work. Right? I don't see that. Like, I mean, Stephen A. Smith couldn't even get Magic to come on First Take consistently like that. He would come every now and then. He's too busy of a guy. He was running businesses all over the place. He's living his best life, and so is Mike. And he's got young twins with his wife. And he's got his NASCAR stuff, and then he got other business. He's got Jumpman and so much stuff, man. And he still got a stake in the Charlotte Hornets. Super busy, right? So to get him in there on a consistent basis calling games, I doubt it. Studio, I doubt it. It's going to be like Kobe's detail. He'll probably break some film down. It's going to be Michael Jordan's version of detail, and I'm willing. I'm not willing to bet on it because I'm not a betting man, but I would, yeah, I think that's what it's going to be, right? So but as far as how he's going to talk about the players, Shannon was asking, you know, or implying that he might be critiquing the players and he want to see how the players will respond to that. And then Ty Lue talked about how, you know, whatever input he put in is going to be good input people should take heed to. And he talked about the mid-range game. And like I said, Ty Lue might watch Man Down Sports because he's saying the things I've been saying for a long time. The mid-range game is very important and very advanced for a player to have. It's that the mid-range game is almost the final stage of that you get to of scoring. That's the last art that you have to master. And without that mid-range game, it kind of lets you know where a player is in their level of scoring if they haven't mastered that yet. Right before the mid-range game is the post game. And some guys haven't mastered that too, for big men and for big guards. And it's some guards that aren't even big guards that mastered the post up, like Kyrie Irving. He posts up. I see Paige Beckers in the WNBA posting up in that mid-range. I love it. Shea post up in the mid-range. I love the post up. Penny Hardaway used to post up, but he's a big guard. But what you do with the ball is like the beginning. You know, most good players can get by their man and get a layup. And then most good players, when they got the ball, could pull up for three if you back up off them. But coming off the ball would be the next step from what you could do with the ball. Come off the ball, and can you move around screens and like a Rip Hamilton or Ray Allen? Can you do that? Can you catch and shoot, move, catch and shoot off some screens? Can you stand in the corner, space the floor, and catch and shoot when someone driving kick for you? Right? So off the ball would be the next step. Then after that, it will be what you do in the mid-range. Everything you can do with the ball, can you also do it and pull up from the mid-range, stop and pop? Right? And then, of course, the post game as well. So all of those things are levels. And I don't think the wing players we got now are even getting to the post-up part, right? So they're not even getting nowhere close to that mid-range part where I can dribble, pull up, or I can catch and shoot mid-range, or I can post up mid-range. None of that. I don't even think they get into that. It's just dribble to the hole, layup, dunk, maybe a runner, or shoot the three if they're back off of you. That's pretty much, or and get in transition. That's pretty much how far their game go. And Ty Lue is saying, like, man, that's crazy because you get in the playoffs, the shot that you go get the most is that mid-range and ain't nobody working on it. Like, they go give you that because when you use that high screen roll, they go want to take away the three and they will want to take away the layup. So they go be in drop coverage. And if you can't come and pull up and rise up and hit that with consistency, you're going to get neutralized. And that was the difference between Anthony Edwards and SGA when they played in the final. Was they in the conference finals together, or was that the second round? I think it was the conference finals because the second round was Denver, I think. So yeah, conference finals against Minnesota. Anthony Edwards got exposed. SGA could do two things. Well, he could do three things. He could get his shot with the ball. He could get shots for his others with the ball, and then he could come off the ball and let Jalen create, right? And he spaced the floor because he could catch and shoot. But he also could say, look, man, they seem they got a good game plan for me when I got the ball at the top of the key. Let me go in the post. Low post, mid post, high post, it don't matter. I'm going there. And I'm going to get my shot off 1 to 2 dribble pull-ups because bringing the ball up court, calling for a screen, dribbling and going east and west, trying to get around and get all the way to the cup. As soon as that screen come, they doubling and getting the ball out of my hand. So why keep doing it? You know, and the way they coach it now is like, oh, that's what you want. Because when they double and you get the ball in their hand, now the guy who gets the ball got a 4-on-3 behind the play, right? You know, behind the play that just happened. Because if I got the ball at the top of key, I get the screen and both men jump me and my man slips. Once I pass it to him and he slipped, the two defenders are behind him because they was doubling me. So now the concept in this league now is we get an opportunity to get a 4-on-3 whenever we want it if y'all doubling off the ball. And that's fine and dandy, but they think they're going to come out here and do that for 4 quarters, an entire season, and the entire playoffs. That's what Luka and J Kidd were doing in Dallas. And now that they done gave up on Luka and they sent him to the Lakers, now JJ Redick think that he about to do that with Luka, who don't want a 4-on-3. Yeah, that sounds good in concept, but you're going to keep going to the well and keep doing that. That's your offense. Your best player got to be a little bit more versatile than that, right? So SGA, whenever Indiana was able to stop him or get the ball out of his hand, he was like, nah, I don't want to come into a crucial game, a pivotal game in the conference finals, and because they doubling me every time, I only get 15 shots and we lose. Yeah, but you made the right play. You got rid of the ball, they doubled you. But yeah, the right play in that moment might sound good, but when you look at it at the end of the game, I took 15 shots and we can't win like that. So where else can I get my shots from if they're going to double me every time I call for a screen? Oh, go to the mid post. Now how they go double from the post? Or move off the ball, catch and shoot. Or can you dribble, pull up from the mid range instead of getting all the way to the rim? Right. So all those things are important. And I'm just, I'm glad I stumbled across this interview, man, because there's so many gems in it. And I had to break down all of it, so I had to do it in separate shows, man. So I appreciate y'all for watching this one to the end. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share as well. Give me all your comments in the comment section, what y'all think about everything that was said. And then look forward to seeing me live this evening. If anything don't come up for me, y'all see me live this evening. And then Friday on tomorrow, y'all will see the full panel Friday with some dope topics. And then Sunday, you go see us doing our football thing. And it's kind of interesting that Gil's Arena just launched and announced their Gil's Gridiron or Arena's Gridiron, their football show with Skip Bayless and some other people. I'm gonna watch it. I think it's gonna be good. But we doing our own football show as well. So all y'all football lovers, y'all make sure y'all tune in. But until next time, I will catch y'all. Peace.